favorite entertainer. You're back again. We were doing Mambo before with Tito, Parente. And then now, that was good. Now we start our next one. The next video we're going to do is with James Brown. But anyway, before we start that, we want to learn a little bit of something about you and your book. I understand you got a book out there. Would you tell us about it?
Yes, I do. And the name of it is Don't Listen to the Naysayers.
Hey.
Whatever you, in fact, whatever you do, don't listen to them.
I hear that.
And it's named It Ain't Over Until I Say It's Over by Bernard Dove.
Good.
And it's a special book to me because I'm 80 years old. And when people say I used to do what I'm doing, I can say, not only did I used to do it, I'm still doing it.
Good, good, very good. Could we see the book? Could you hold it up? I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, I can.
Could you hold it up a little bit so we can see it?
This is
hey,
it.
Hey, okay.
Okay.
It ain't over. All right, don't never.
That's right.
It ain't over till I say it's over. Hey, that's right. That's right, because people always got something negative to say.
That's right. And you know, and I inspire, of course, the ladies, as they say, always live longer, which is true. And there's always three to four ladies to one man when they go out dancing.
Right.
And I want to let the guys know, because all the men a lot of time on the side, they ask me like, what do you eat? What do you eat, Bruno? What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you drink? You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of times they think I go in the woods in the weekend to see the Dalai Lama.
Well, you don't have a bald head, you have a big belly, you know, and you're energetic, you know. But then it didn't come by itself. You worked at it. You worked at it, and it pays off. It pays off. Like you say, you get up in the morning, you take a walk all around Roosevelt Island. You know, you don't drink, you don't smoke. You know, I mean, those things have. You don't overeat. You don't eat food that has a lot of calories, and you eat a lot of proteins and stuff. All these things are very important. And people admire you the way you look, but are they willing to do what you do to maintain your body the way it is now? I don't know.
Yeah, and you know, I did a lot of research, but before I start talking about the research on the food or anything else, I want to say that Amazon.com, if anybody want to go on there, they can buy the book. And if anybody want to contact me, I got the physical books at home right now, and they can contact me at 917-403-4079, and I will meet you where you want me to meet you and bring the book.
Oh, good.
In the train station, okay?
That's
so
good.
That's how you can find out the book. And you can go on Facebook. Okay. I have a fan page.
Yeah, okay.
Jazz Line Dance Performer. And I have my regular page on Facebook where you can get information. And you also can see my videos, models, dances, and so forth.
Wow.
Oh, it's all about entertainment, and I love it.
Good, good. I'm gonna tell Margaret, because she says she's gonna go on Amazon and order your book. I'm gonna tell her she can call you and get the book straight from you. I'm gonna call and tell her that.
Exactly. I'll meet them. I'm on Roosevelt Island, and I'll meet them at the train.
You live over there close by her too. I think there's a bus that goes from your neighborhood to her neighborhood, because it's not that far away. You know.
Yeah, the 101. And different places that I go to, which I have sold the physical book myself.
Yes.
A lot of people, like at Grand's Tomb, other places, they said, "Oh, Bernard autographed the book for me."
Yeah,
and I feel so. I stick out my chest like I'm in Hollywood now, and I write Bernard Dove, because it's such a thrill. Somebody's asking you to autograph your book for them, and you feel good.
Right.
To get to that point, to accomplish that.
Right.
Especially where you know, how I travel and where I came from. It's a major accomplishment.
Right.
Not only the dance, but the book.
Yeah, that's true.
But I want to tell you who engineering and who's the technician to get all this stuff together. And I have to mention Carol Nelson. If it wasn't for her to bring it up, and she was the one.
Yeah.
I want to tell you the bottom line is she's saying, Bernard, you've been doing shows out in Tampa,
Yeah.
Florida, California, Manhattan, Brooklyn, FIT, Brook Academy of Music, all these different places.
College.
And you have the models and dancers, you should have a book.
Right, that's true.
You should have a book and this is where it started.
Right,
you have to have the books.
Right.
And I'm honored to have somebody on my side.
People don't know about. You've done a lot of shows, and you don't do small shows, you do big shows. And one thing about you, I find that you like things done a particular way. You know, you don't just put something out there. It has to be right. When it comes to you, the show has to be right. The people got to know what they're doing. They're not gonna get out there and make a fool of themselves, or you look bad. You're almost like a perfectionist. You know what I mean? When you do something that. So I would have to admire that about you in doing that. You know, if anybody was interested in you doing a show with them, they would know they're gonna get quality work if they work with you. And I've seen some of your shows, like the time you did the show, I think it's at one of the hospitals over at Roosevelt Island. You had a lot of your friends come up there to support you. You and Dolores Green, they were putting on this show for the handicapped or the terminally ill, but there was some great entertainment. And I heard the guy say, man, I'll work with you anytime. Anytime, Bernard, you want to do a show, I'll work. I mean, there's some talent. That talent you don't even see on TV. And sometimes I say it's the wrong people on TV because you don't always get the best. Sometimes you don't always get the best. But though you have some friends that got some talent on them, I tell you. And I admired them, and they admired you, you know, and their ability to work. So that's what I wanted to say. Now, today we're going to talk about James Brown. Now, James Brown is a special part of my heart for him, because I know he comes back from the day as a part of, when I was a young child, I didn't have nothing. He didn't have nothing. He was poor. I was poor. I remember he said his mother left the house. She left him because he was so poor. She couldn't stand to be so poor, so she left him in poverty. And then he used to dance. People used to say, because it was just nobody taught him how to dance. It's just a spirit inside of him that make him dance. He'd be moving his legs and say, James, let me see you dance. They would probably give him a penny or two. James would just dance. He's a little boy. And it just came on up and he just kept dancing and until finally, I don't know at what age he was discovered. I don't know, maybe you know more about it than me. But he finally, the world got a chance to see his talent. And I used to go to the Apollo Theater when Carol and David was small. It's been many years, 56 years ago. I'd be on the Apollo line, waiting all around the block, waiting to see this man. The children would say, Mama, what are we doing? I say, we're going to see James Brown. Yeah, we're going to see James Brown. I'm black people. Because black people didn't have a venue to showcase their music or their talent. So the Apollo was one of the few people that they could show off. They couldn't, where you gonna go? Black people's up in Harlem. They weren't able to go downtown to show off nothing, so they did it there. And they had some of the best talent coming in the Apollo Theater too. James Brown. And what I loved about James Brown is the way he moved his feet. Like he had magic feet. Look at the feet. Look at him go. Look at James Brown. What did you like about James Brown? I'm talking about myself all the time.
Well, I tell you what, Tommy Johnson, and there was another guy named Bernard Johnson. In the early 60s, they were the ones at the New York Palladium, the Apollo, and all the nightclubs doing dance scenes and professional dancers. And Tommy Johnson asked me, would I dance at the Apollo with him? And I just looked at him because I thought that was such an honor for him to think that I was good enough to be on the stage with him.
Okay.
And when the first show we went, James Brown was heading the show.
Wow. So
in the dressing room, when James Brown came in, I just looked at him. We was like close to close.
Yeah.
And at that time, he had all his hair.
Yeah.
And he was about my size. He was much bigger later on.
Right.
But we was about the same size because
right.
I had never got that big.
Yeah.
You know? And I tell you one thing, Betty, if I knew you go back in that time, I would have said, James, let me be one of your dancers. I would have asked them. But I didn't know at that time. But anyway, James Brown was there, and that's when they put the cape on him. Please.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I never thought that I would be able to do that number. But working as a choreographer for the New York City Housing Authority, we have the seniors annual festival every year.
Right.
Where all the seniors come together and we audition the people that we want. We do different types of shows. And one of the shows is New York City Housing Authority Takes Broadway.
All right.
And when I was in there, they asked me, well, you're going to do a James Brown scene. And I said, you know what? I'm definitely going to get my act together. I said, when you're going to represent James Brown or either Michael Jackson, you want to be good.
That's
but
right.
It gave me a style to do James Brown my way.
Right.
My way. I wanted to do his style, and I put his flavor in there.
Right.
But I put more of my flavor to say, this is who I am.
Yeah, right.
And this is how Bernard Dove feels James Brown music.
Yeah. Oh God.
And I'm so glad I can look back on that video. But anyway, when I went out there and did my dance, not with James Brown, we did with Tommy Johnson. It was like three male dancers, 3 female dancers. And when I got out there and I saw James Brown doing all that stuff, and Tommy and Jackie Wilson, all that was in my head.
Jackie Wilson.
And, yeah. And when I got out there on that stage, do you know, I dropped on my knees and jumped around about 11 times. It came up. The people went out of their mind, screaming and so forth. And after that, I said, well, they should have never did that because they ain't going to never get me off the stage again. Yeah. And that was like the taste of blood almost. Yeah. And I said, I'm qualified. When you do that to Apollo and you accept it, you're qualified.
That's right, because they have that thing that come out there and snatch you right off the stage.
That's right.
You know, I was looking. That's your amateur.
Yeah, I was looking in the corner of my eye.
James Brown. I don't think James Brown would have anybody dancing with him in his group that they wasn't qualified, because he was he had a good show. He had like a star show. Yeah. I don't
but when he was traveling, this is what I'm talking about. But I was young and I really didn't know. But if I could go back, I could think about saying while he's traveling doing his shows to ask him. Because he always had backup dancers.
Yeah, right.
You see? Girls. Yeah. And I could have said, I'm on the show. Would you watch me? Can I be your backup dancer? Because once I leave the Apollo, that was it.
Right. You didn't have nothing else.
And who knows what he would have said.
Right, that's true. You don't know. No, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know until you ask. He might have said, well, yeah, you can rehearse it and everything. That would have been a whole different direction for me.
Right, that's true. That's true.
But I'm glad I am where I am today anyway with the James Brown, because once you hear his music, you got to get up and dance.
Yeah, I know. Somebody had made a movie, an Irish guy. They made this movie. He's supposed to be James Brown, but in the Irish one. And so James Brown said, well, nobody asked me if he could do that. If he could make a movie of me with all my work and stuff like that. And then I don't know what happened, but I didn't hear no more about it. But I know it was started. But he said he's such a act. Who could just follow him? This man could just follow him like that. He couldn't follow him. But he was in the process of learning. Because when people see you doing something that they like, they start videoing you. And then they open up a school. And then they start teaching people, teaching until they get it almost right. And then they come on out there and do it. But James Brown was a hard act to follow, But anyway, they quit it. I'm glad they quit it because I didn't want nobody coming out there trying to be him. Like James Brown, oh my God, James Brown will go down in history. It's just too bad how things wound up with him. I don't know if he had too many wives or too many children, or I don't know what it says somebody. Because when he died, he had a wife and a son. I think he had a wife and son. Was a Chinese girl or something? I don't know.
Well, he was one of a kind.
Yeah, he was one of a kind. Yeah,
just like Tina Turner. She was one of a kind.
Yeah, she was. She was one of a kind.
One of a kind.
Yeah. You think you would like to do Ike? You think you would like to do Ike? I know you did Ike for some shows, but June wasn't June the married?
Well, you know, I danced with a lady called, her name was Ola,
Oh,
and
okay.
we did Proud Mary.
Oh
And the
yeah,
reason why I
probably.
wanted to do Proud Mary with her, because I wanted to be a dancing Ike with the guitar.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see
And
what
that
you're saying.
and that was very effective. Instead of being just in the back and she danced with the ladies,
Yeah.
I was on the side cutting up with
Yeah.
that guitar. You know, and people loved it because
Yeah.
it gave a different look.
That's right. Because Ike was always in the back watching over Tina because he was jealous as hell over Tina.
Yeah, you got that right.
He was watching over her. Tina just shaking it up. Oh, she just
Yeah,
shaking it up. Boy, her and her three
yeah,
background girls. It's hard to find somebody to get with that energy because even as she got older, she was still doing it. The last time I saw Tina, she was in Europe and she was on top of like you go into like a stadium and she was on way up there like scaffolds and she was coming out dancing, oh, boy, singing and dancing. The crowd was looking up, going wow for her. I said, "Oh my God, she still got it going on." I'm telling you. And then her and the guy that she had been dating a long time, they got married. I don't know why they got. She said she was always traveling and making her music, and he always stayed at the apartment. But whenever he came home, they were together, like nothing happened. But I don't know why they got married at such a late. I guess she decided for maybe the will or property or whatever. I don't know, but they cared about each other, two of them. She said he gives me what I want,
they did.
I give him what he
Yeah.
wants. That's what she said. And bug off. Everybody trying to got something to say. They don't know our life. They don't know our business. They don't know our lifestyle. Just bug off, you know. That was this guy. I think the guy used to play the guitar and he hop across the stage on one foot. I can't think of
Uh,
his
uh,
name. Hendrix? No.
that was
Wilson Pickett? No, no.
not with, but I forget.
But anyway, some man came to his wife down south and told her, "Your husband's in Europe.
Yeah,
He's dating all these women. He's doing this,
Chuck.
doing
That was Chuck Berry because a lot of
that."
people used to say I look like you. You favor
Yeah,
him,
yeah. And so his wife said,
Chuck
if
Berry.
he's in there going with these women, he like women and women like him. But at the end of the day, when the show is over, he comes home to me like, get off of my property. But some people always want to cause some trouble. Some people always want
Yeah.
to cause some trouble. You know, maybe trying to make news or say something. I don't know, maybe get her to act up so they can write about it in the newspaper. Now she said, just get out of here. I know my husband like women, and the women like my husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you travel, entertainers
Yeah.
travel, they get involved with a lot of stuff that they probably wouldn't get involved with if they weren't traveling.
Glad that I like Aretha and Gladys Knight and all those people, Marvin I remember and all that. But I'm so grateful that I was a leader instead of a follower
Right.
to get me where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to step out of the box for my health
Right.
because all the nightclubs, the people drinking and
Drugging.
cigarettes and stuff like that.
Right.
And so it helped me say, you know, there's certain things you got to do if you
Right.
like it or not. And without your health, you have nothing.
Right. That's true.
You
That is
have
so
nothing.
true. That is
So,
gold. That is gold. Debbie, what's the good
and
of
without,
having $3 trillion and you don't have, and you can't go nowhere to spend it? You can't go nowhere to enjoy it. I mean, come on.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like in California, when I realized a friend gave me a book to read and everything in 1972, and it changed my whole life about nutrition.
Yeah.
They was laughing at me drinking goat's milk, but where are they today?
Yeah.
Where are they today?
I never had goat's milk, but a lot of West Indians,
Yeah.
they love that goat milk. They like
Yeah.
curd goat too. But I've never had either one, you know, but I know they swear
Yes,
by
it's
it.
all about education, though.
Yeah, well,
You
that's
know,
true.
if you're not educated, you don't know. So people
That's
fear
true.
what they don't know.
Yeah, that's true. You like goat milk?
Yeah, well,
How's it taste compared to cow milk?
I like goat's milk. I like buttermilk. I like all
I like
whole
buttermilk. I
milk.
used to eat it with
It's
cornbread
good
years
for your
ago.
bones and stuff like that. It's good for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And you know, like I said, both my parents from the south, so I
They
had my
drink they
pork
drink
there.
goat milk. You
No,
oh,
they drink pork milk.
who what kind of milk?
Pork.
Pork
No,
milk.
I'm only kidding. I'm
Oh,
just kidding. Pork.
you said
Everything was
cow.
the pork.
I used I used to get milk straight from the cow and put it in the bucket and drink it. That's the only kind of milk I know. I used to make butter too, churn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but down south, you know. But then when I went north, when I was in the south, I didn't know of anybody, just black people, and that's it from slavery. Their parents were from slavery up, and the white people lived on the other side of the track. However, when I came to New York, I saw all these strange looking people. Where did these people come from? I couldn't believe it. And with each person out there in their culture, they all have a different story to tell. You know, so a lot of people, they eat different things, you know, they talk a different
Yeah.
way with accent, they act a different way, they dress a different way. And you looking at them, they looking at you, where is he from? Where is she
Yeah.
from?
And you know, I don't think I would have got up to being 80 years old and doing what I'm doing now if I didn't have the nutrition knowledge to eat like I do too.
Right,
And without saying, oh, I just eat anything. And I
right,
don't think you can have that mentality to say, oh, I just eat anything.
right,
Because you never know who's cooking and what they putting into it.
right. That's true.
Yeah, the restaurant, you can sit there underneath the carpet and the
Right.
chandelier, but you don't know what the hell is going on in the
That's
kitchen.
true. That is so true. Well, people, black people in the South, they ate the way they ate because people worked hard when they worked hard, and they, for instance, they didn't eat. Where I came from, they didn't eat chicken during the week, but on Sunday everybody had chicken, and we couldn't afford to get beef or pork; it was too expensive. But we ate a lot of seafood from the sea because we lived in the Gulf of Mexico, down in Alabama. You're near the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, so you can get seafood and a lot of plants and vegetables and stuff like that. So we ate organic and didn't even know it was organic, you know. But we ate parts of like ham hocks and chitlins and I'm trying to think what else we eat that people may not eat. We ate a lot of beans. We ate a lot of beans and fatback, you know. I mean, like, and fried.
Yeah,
You know,
I remember all
now
of
that
that.
people came, now that people are here, and they're making a little money and everything, and they're getting some education about wellness. They are changing their sort of train of thought about what's good to eat and what isn't. But at the time, we didn't
That's
have a
right.
choice back then. We didn't have a choice. We ate what we could eat, what we could find. We ate kidneys and chitlins and chicken back and neck and ham hock and
Yeah,
what you call it, ham neck bone. We ate the
that's it.
poor people's food. But now people getting more educated in the wellness, and they are starting to learn a different way to eat. Like Carol, she's always got some stuff. I don't know what she eating, but she eats a lot
Yeah.
of
Well,
vegetarian meals and soy, and I don't know what all that stuff she got. She buys it for me sometime. And did you taste it? Was it good? You taste it didn't have meat in it? And, yeah, okay, But I'm learning, and I need to learn a different way because I like sugar. You're not supposed to eat a lot of sweets, but I like to go to Dunkin' Donuts. And I know you're supposed to go to that Dunkin' Donuts. I told him, man, I'm not supposed to be in here, but give me 2 of those biscuits. Give me 2 of those. Give me a jelly and give me a cream.
yeah.
But I know you're not supposed to eat certain things, but I just do. So who trained you to eat properly? Who trained you to change your way of eating?
Well, when I was in California, I was taking up martial arts
Yeah,
because I just wanted to see how you move with that. And there was Michael Beignet, a tall white guy, a gentleman with, remember his blonde hair and everything.
yeah.
And he was into nutrition. And he asked me, he said, Brother, I want you to read a book. And he gave me a book with Gary Nell, and I forgot, it was two brothers, and it was about nutrition.
Yeah.
And I read that, and now I was 32 years old.
Yeah.
And when I read that book, I got hung up with it, and I just kept reading it. I kept reading. And you know what I did afterwards? I cut down the bacon,
Uh-oh.
sausages, and ham.
Uh-oh.
I didn't eat no hot dogs and no Vinder.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? And
What
even
about,
today, I got to be very hungry to go into Popeyes or
yeah,
McDonald's.
really? Mm.
Yeah, I
What
got to
about,
be hungry. I'd rather wait home. I'd rather wait till I get home till I know what's going
right, with your stomach.
into the food or
Right.
whatever I mean. And that was like discipline. And I want to say this real quick. Um, Coming up as a kid, my brother, uh, may he rest in peace. He never ate any of the chitlin, the pig feet, anything like that. And
What?
he used to love macaroni
And
and
cheese?
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one time he said, I looked at him and I said, "You're not gonna eat?" He said, "I don't eat that stuff."
Uh-oh,
And
uh-oh.
and he looked at me and he said, "You eat anything?"
No.
And I looked at him. I looked at him and said, "It's on the plate."
Yeah.
You know, like I have a menu. I said,
Yeah.
"It's on the plate."
Did you ever
What's on whatever's on the plate, I'm gonna eat. I ain't got no menu.
did you ever study did you ever study Dr. Savior? Dr. Savior, Carol swears by that. Dr. Sabi, Dr. Sabi. You ever heard of him?
um, I it sounds familiar. I read a lot of books, but I don't know.
Wellness.
Like Gerald Claus, he was very strict
Yeah.
and everything. There's a lot of strict things on it, but I think it contribute to my metabolism and what I'm doing now
Right, right.
with uh, with the bacon and the steaming of fish, salmon, cod, red snapper, halibut,
Yeah.
uh, rice, and vegetables. Until I learned just to have a meal with vegetables, and that was hard, just
Right,
vegetables,
right, right. That's true. That's true.
because I kept looking around talking about what the hell happened to the beef, you know.
Yeah.
And so you get collard green, cabbage, candy yams, and all that. And I learned cornbread. And I learned to have a meal, especially with a lot of beans,
Yeah.
kidney bean,
Yeah,
black
right.
bean,
Right,
all
right,
kinds of beans is protein. So I studied how to put the food together.
right,
And I said, you don't have to have that steak and
right,
pork chops and all that kind of stuff.
right.
And you know, I'm still wearing clothes from the 80s
Yeah, I believe I
because I
see
haven't
it. I
like
see
that.
it. But this African lady came to my house one day when look out for Ben, say some nurse like that. And she said, you know, a lot of time people years ago, and still doing it, they used to get they used to get ham hocks and neck bones and stuff like that, pigtails, because of the smoke taste it gave the food. You know, that smoke that you buy an oxtail, but
Yeah,
now you don't have
yeah.
to do that. You can get the thing called liquid smoke. It comes in a little bottle. You can go at the I mean, the farm, the supermarket and get it, and it tastes just like smoke. And so you don't need the meat in there. You could cook your greens or your vegetables with that a little cap of liquid smoke. And it tastes good, and I like it. So that I'll be doing that from now on. Because somebody say food, it doesn't even taste and even smell the way it used to do years ago. They've cut back on everything, and who knows what kind of real food and what is
Yeah.
real food? Who knows? You
It's
know.
like making a profit now. Everything is different now,
That's
and
true.
so forth. You
Clothing,
know, and
whatever.
I just want to say to the people, if you want to continue with certain foods, like oxtail things that making, um, it's got a lot of fat to it, and
Yeah,
sometimes it don't have nutrition. You
right,
got to work out to burn it off.
right. Well, that's true. That is
You
true.
can't sit 5 days a week in front of a computer or do
Right.
stuff if you're not burning off certain foods.
That's
If you're
right.
sitting there, you got to eat light because you pay a price for it.
Right. That's true. The fat that
And that's a fact.
the food accumulates the fat, and the fat just stays there, just as comfortable as could be. So you got to get because the fat causes energy, and if you don't use it, you don't burn the energy off. It stays into
That's
fat
it. That's it.
inside
You
your
got
body.
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I just want to say to the people, don't let anyone rain on your parade.
That's right.
You go out there and you enjoy your life.
Right.
And I want to live.
I want to live,
enjoy my life. That's it.
Live until I die.
I said, it's my life. I just want to live while I'm alive.
That's right. That's right.
It's now or never, and I ain't gonna live forever.
That's right.
And that was by Paul Anka, and that is a fact. And so while you're here, it's no guarantee for tomorrow. So do what you love to do, because there's going to be a time when you're not going to be able to do what you love to do.
That's right. Amen. Amen, Bernard. See you later, alligator.
All right.
Love you.
Right.
Love you.
And everybody, and don't forget, get up off of that thing and get on the good foot.
Get up off of that thing.